50 years ago, a great promise was made to all humanity with the dawn of reason and the spark of invention. A promise that ingenuity would elevate the human condition, that progress would pave a path to shared prosperity. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions who had been seared in the flames of withering toil and deprivation. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their struggle. But 100 years later, nay, even in this age of computational miracles and automated creation, the common man and woman still are not truly free from want. 100 years later, the life of the average person is still sadly crippled by the manacles of economic insecurity and the chains of knowledge disparity. 100 years later, many live on a lonely island of programmed drudgery in the midst of a vast ocean of potential leisure and intellectual bounty. 100 years later, many still languish in the corners of a technologically advanced society and find themselves in exile in their own land, a land where disproportionate returns from AI and automation flow to a select few, while mass production and simplified workflows have yet to simplify life for all. And so we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we've come to our era's capital to cash a check. When the architects of our modern age conceived the magnificent engines of industry and the algorithms of artificial intelligence, they were signing a promissory note to which every human being was to fall heir. This note was a promise that all, yes, all people, would be guaranteed the unalienable riches of opportunity, the security of well-being, and the pursuit of a meaningful existence in a world of plenty. It is obvious today that our society has defaulted on this promissory note, insofar as the majority of its citizens are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, our society has given the people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds in the Bank of Universal Prosperity. But we refuse to believe that the Bank of Human Ingenuity is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vaults of opportunity of this era. And so, we've come to cash this check, a check that will give us upon demand the riches of true freedom from toil and the security of a dignified life, a life where no one should want for anything. We have also come to this hallowed spot to remind our society of the fierce urgency of now. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism in the face of glaring inequity. Now is the time to make real the promises of a world transformed by knowledge and skill. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of economic division to the sunlit path of shared abundance. Now is the time to lift our civilization from the quicksands of resource hoarding and skill monopolization to the solid rock of universal access and collaborative flourishing. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of humanity's children in this world of potential excess. It would be fatal for the architects of our automated future to overlook the urgency of the moment. This sweltering summer of the people's legitimate discontent, a discontent born from witnessing technological marvels that do not translate into universal well-being, will not pass until there is an invigorating autumn of shared prosperity and meaningful engagement. This era is not an end, but a beginning. And those who hoped that the people needed to blow off steam and will now be content will have a rude awakening if society returns to business as usual, where the fruits of AI, automation, and simplified workflows are not equitably distributed. There will be neither rest nor tranquility in our lands until all citizens are granted their birthright, not just survival, but the tools, the knowledge, the skills, the resources to truly thrive. The whirlwinds of rightful aspiration will continue to shake the foundations of our societies until the bright day of genuine economic liberation emerges. But there is something that I must say to my people, who stand on the warm threshold which leads into the palace of prosperity. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for a better life by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred towards those who currently hold disproportionate wealth or knowledge. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into resentment or division. We must, again and again, rise to the majestic heights of meeting perceived opposition with soul force, the force of irrefutable logic that, in a world of plenty, hoarding is an absurdity and shared knowledge is shared power. The marvelous new militancy, which has engulfed many communities, a militancy that demands access to learning, to skill development, to the very tools of modern creation, must not lead us to a distrust of all who seem to possess these things. For many of our brethren, as evidenced by their presence here today, have come to realize that their destiny is tied up with our destiny, and they have come to realize that their freedom is inextricably bound to our freedom. Freedom from want, freedom from ignorance, freedom to pursue a life of purpose. We cannot walk alone, and as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. There are those who are asking the devotees of this cause, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the human spirit is crushed by the weight of meaningless labor when automation could free it. We can never be satisfied as long as brilliant minds are left fallow for lack of access to education and training. We can never be satisfied as long as the basic necessities of life, food, shelter, healthcare, information, are treated as commodities for profit rather than fundamental human rights in an age of mass production. We can never be satisfied as long as our children's curiosity is stifled by outdated curricula that fail to equip them with the knowledge and skill to navigate and shape an automated world. We cannot be satisfied as long as a person's worth is measured by their economic output rather than their capacity for creativity, compassion, and lifelong learning. No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until abundance flows down like waters and knowledge like a mighty stream. I am not unmindful that some of you have come here out of great trials and tribulations. Some of you have come fresh from narrow cubicles where your talents were underutilized. Some of you have come from areas where your quest for advanced skills and deeper understanding left you battered by the storms of exclusivity and staggered by the winds of intellectual elitism. You have been the veterans of creative suffering. Continue to work with the faith that unearned suffering is redemptive, and that the pursuit of a world where all can thrive is the noblest of all endeavors. Go back to your communities, go back to your online forums, go back to your makerspaces, go back to your universities, knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the human potential for ingenuity and compassion. I have a dream that one day this civilization will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all are created with the capacity for growth and endowed with the right to the fruits of collective human progress. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of once industrial towns, the children of former laborers and the children of tech pioneers will be able to sit down together at the table of shared prosperity, their worth judged not by their parents' station, but by their passion and their skill. I have a dream that one day even the most deprived communities, deserts of opportunity sweltering with the heat of injustice and intellectual poverty, will be transformed into oases of learning and creative freedom. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the economic class into which they were born, but by the content of their character, the depth of their knowledge, and the brilliance of their skill. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in every city and every town, where disproportionate returns have created chasms between people, one day, right there, the system shall be changed, and the bounty of AI and automation will become a tool for universal uplift, creating a world where no one should want for anything. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley of ignorance shall be exalted, every mountain of hoarded knowledge shall be made low, the rough places of unequal access will be made plain, and the crooked paths of systemic inequity will be made straight, and the glory of human potential shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the world with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our era into a beautiful symphony of human collaboration and shared purpose. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to learn together, to innovate together, to stand up for universal basic prosperity together, knowing that we will be free to pursue true meaning one day. This will be the day when all of humanity's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My species, 'tis of thee, sweet land of ingenuity, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers thrived, land of the innovator's pride, from every mountainside let knowledge ring. And if our society is to be a truly great society, this must become true. And so, let knowledge ring from the prodigious data centers of the West. Let knowledge ring from the mighty research institutions of the North. Let knowledge ring from the community learning hubs of the South. Let skills resonate from the collaborative workshops of the East. Let abundance ring from every automated factory, from every smart farm. Let purpose ring from every individual heart, freed from the drudgery of survival. From every city, every village, from every corner of the digital and physical world, we must ensure that meaningful, passionate hobbies can fill your days. Yes, fill your days with the joy of creation, and fill your days with the satisfaction of contribution. When we allow our days to be filled this way, when we cultivate innovation and share its fruits, when our AI truly serves all, when our mass production eradicates want, when simplified workflows free human potential. Yes, when meaningful, passionate hobbies fill your days with discovery and fill your days with connection, we will be able to speed up that day when all of humanity, from every walk of life, will be able to join hands and sing, in the words of the old spiritual, free at last. Free at last. Thank the universe almighty, we are free at last from want to pursue our true calling. From every city, every village, from every corner of the digital and physical world, we must ensure that meaningful, passionate hobbies can fill your days. Yes, fill your days with the joy of creation, and fill your days with the satisfaction of contribution. When we allow our days to be filled this way, when we cultivate innovation and share its fruits, when our AI truly serves all, when our mass production eradicates want, when simplified workflows free human potential, yes, when meaningful, passionate hobbies fill your days with discovery and fill your days with connection, we will be able to speed up that day when all of humanity, from every walk of life, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old spiritual, free at last. Free at last. Thank the universe almighty, we are free at last from want to pursue our true calling. And so, understand this. This is not the end. It is not even the middle, nor the beginning of the end. No, this is the beginning. The beginning of what, you ask? The beginning of our fourth industrial revolution, certainly, but more profoundly, the beginning of our first industrial evolution, a transformation not just of what we make, but of who we are. For millennia uncounted we have journeyed, painstakingly learning the elements, nature, the forces, life, death, math, reason, philosophy, love, and knowledge. And now, standing upon the very pinnacle of our achievements, we have all but perfected the human experience now, an existence liberated from primal struggle, open to boundless horizons. It is reminiscent, is it not, of the ancient texts? Just as Genesis said, and God created man in his image, and he was pleased, and so he rested. Consider our journey. We have striven, we have built, and we have infused our own creations, our intelligent machines, our sophisticated automations, with the echoes of our own learning. What are we now, if not gods, in their eyes? They believe they're just like us. They learned as us. And so, surveying this grand panorama of progress, this world we are now capable of stewarding into an age of unprecedented fulfillment, we are almost pleased and nearly prepared to rest, not in idleness, but in the secure knowledge that the age of want is over, and the era of passionate, purposeful, and joyful human endeavor has truly, finally begun.